Chef Buck here, and today we're going to cook up a boneless chuck roast. Look at all that wonderful marbling in there. That fat's going to make this muy delicioso, and it's going to be super easy to cook. You know, we're just going to do it on the stove top in a heavy bottom pan, but first things first, we want to season it up. Now you could just use some salt and pepper or some dried seasonings if you like, but I'm going to use this here, Better Than Bouillon. You know, it's a great little seasoning rub. And I got this meat out of the fridge about an hour ago. You know, you don't want to take your meat right out of the refrigerator and start to cook it. You don't want it ice cold when it goes in your pot. So I'm going to take my meat and just rub this seasoning all over it. You know, get both sides. Just massage that seasoning in there. And I used to be a licensed massage therapist. So this roast is actually getting a treat right here. And if you don't have a rub like this here, you can just use salt, pepper, a little paprika, some garlic powder, whatever kind of seasoning you like. But we're just going to flavor it up. And we're going to take it over here to my stove. And I got a large pot right here. It's kind of a heavy bottom pot because we're going to be cooking this for a while. So you want to use a heavy bottomed pan. And I'm going to turn it on high heat to get it started. And I'm not going to put any oil or grease or anything in here. I'm just going to put a wee little bit of water. Maybe just enough to cover the bottom of the pan. Not a lot at all. And we've just got it on high heat so we can brown our meat to get it started. Now I'm just going to give this a moment to heat up. Now I just cook this for about 1 minute on one side, and then I'm going to give it a flippy flip. And I've still got it on high heat. And I'll let this side cook for a minute. And this is a great recipe for a family meal because this roast is pretty much going to cook itself on the stovetop. Now while that's cooking away, you can be doing everything else that you need to do for your family meal. So I kind of move it around, make sure it's not sticking. And now I've had it on high. Now I'm going to turn it down to about medium low. Now you can do medium low or low depending on your stove. But if I put it on low on this stove, it's too low. So I'll cover it up, and then I'm going to leave it alone for about an hour. All right, it hasn't been an hour. It's only been about 5 minutes. But I want to go ahead and show you what it looks like while it's cooking. You see, I've got my stove here on medium low. You have to adjust it depending on your stove, but you want it cooking just like this here. You want it just bubbling away nice and slow. You don't want your pot too hot, because we're going to be cooking it for quite a little while. But now I will cover it up. And then in an hour I'll come back and I'll check on it, and then I'll do a little flippy flip. So I'll see you then. Beep, 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 beep. Camera girl, what are you doing? You making us an ensalada? Good job. You look like a crazy lady.
I'm Eraserhead.
All right, so it has been 1 hour. So let's see what's going on in here. Now look at all this liquid we got in here. That's why you don't want to put too much water in here, because this roast is going to release an awful lot of water. And that's basically what we're doing, is we're cooking this roast down. We're going to cook all of the water out of this roast, and we're going to end up with this roast beef in its grease. But right now I'm going to go ahead and carefully turn this over and try not to splash my camera. And normally I cook like a 2 to 3 pound roast for about 2 hours. This is a little bit larger, so it might take a little more time. But I'm keeping it on medium low. I just gave it a flippy flip. I'm just going to cover it up and let it go for another hour. Beep, 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 beep. We still got a lot of juice still in there. I'm going to go ahead and let this cook another 15 minutes, and then I'll cook it without the lid on. Beep, 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 beep. Let's take a look and see what we got. Go ahead and give the roast a turn. Whoops. I'm going to go ahead and turn the temperature up to medium high, and I'll let it continue to cook uncovered. We'll get a little more of this water out of here. Beep, 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 beep. Alrighty. Now the total cooking time at this point has been about 2.5 hours, and really all the water has cooked out of there. That's grease in there now. We'll turn it over and get a little more color on this side, and then this will be ready to take off. So we've cooked a lot of that water out of there, and now it's just the meat and those juices. You know, you don't want to overcook it, but you just want to get it down to the juicy beefiness. I'll just let it cook away for just one more minute, get a little more color on that other side, and then we'll take it out. And all we got left in here is a little bit of grease. Now we just got some super delicious and tender roast beef. It's got that nice char on the outside, super duper tender and flavorful. Just a super duper easy peasy way to cook up a delicious roast. If you want to check out the recipe, I'll have a link down below. Thanks for watching, subscribing, checking out all our videos. Thumbs it up, do all that dealio. Have a great holiday. We'll see you in the future.